have a seed that will dethrone the candy blossom. After so long, we finally have a new, better seed in the game. I think it's actually well overdue. Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Grow a Garden video. So today we have the new super harvest event coming out in like 20 minutes. I'm gonna go over everything they added, the best tips and tricks for it, just the best ultimate guide for this update, so you know exactly what you should be doing and what they actually added. But before we get into that, if you enjoy this video or find it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget, once we reach 45,000 subscribers, I'll be taking a massive 50+ rainbow huge pack giveaway on Pet Sim 99. I will also be doing my best to come up with the best way to macro this event, so I'll definitely be uploading a video on that pretty soon as well, so stay tuned for that as well. And then obviously Pet Sim has its update coming out later today, so there will be a tips and tricks video for that out as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. All right, so the update just released. It's kind of a small update, but we do still have a lot of stuff to go over. And then we did already get quite a few leaks, including a really OP seed for next update. So we'll go over everything that we learned as well as everything in this update. Starting off with the regular seed shop, we did actually get a new seed here. We got a pitcher plant seed. It looks pretty good. I don't think it's going to be better than sugar apple and not even close to as good as the candy blossom. However, obviously it does look a little better than the Feywas. So I mean, it's not going to be a horrible seed, but still not amazing. And if it is good, I'm sure Jandel will go ahead and nerf it as soon as people realize. Besides that, in the seed crafting machine, we actually have it replaced with only 3 seeds in here now. You can't craft anything else other than these 3 summer seeds, which do require summer coins, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But these coins are actually pretty hard to get, so the aloe vera and the guanabana are going to be pretty good, I would assume. Now in the gear shop, we did actually get a new gear that does make things a lot easier. Basically, it's called the magnifying glass, and it lets you reveal the value of a plant without having to collect them. So that's going to be pretty useful if you're trying to build up a really expensive plant and you don't want to actually collect it to check the value. Not too bad. It's not in stock right now, but I'm sure it's not going to be that expensive. However, we did get a new egg, but it doesn't show up inside the egg shop, unfortunately. But this egg is called the Oasis egg. Obviously, it comes with an accompanied exclusive Oasis egg that you can buy for Robux. But there is a way to get it free to play, which is using the new harvest shop. So we got a new harvest shop over here. Come over to the center. You can go ahead and talk to the NPC. And not only can you still donate fruits when a harvest event is running, but you can now open up a harvest shop where you can spend the new summer coins to buy different summer items. So far, we haven't had the hamster or Oasis egg or Oasis crate in stock, but I'm sure those are going to be pretty expensive. The hamster apparently speeds up crafting speed, so I don't think that's going to be too useful in my opinion, honestly. But we got a new Oasis crate, which looks pretty cool. We got some pretty interesting paintings and stuff. And then the Oasis egg that you can buy for summer coins. Not sure how much exactly, but that's going to be interesting. We got a new mutation spray for burnt, traveler fruit seed, lily of the valley seed. Maybe that's based on Breaking Bad, because I've never seen that plant used in any other game. And then we got the Definium seed for only 2 summer coins and a summer pack for 3 summer coins. Now let's talk about these summer coins. They don't seem too hard to get. I went ahead and completed my first summer harvest. I only had about 5 minutes submitting fruits and I got 6,000 harvest points. Now, believe it or not, that's how much I would normally get just from AFKing the entire 10 minutes. So you might be wondering, how am I getting so many more points? And that is basically because now we have a mega harvest event, not just a normal harvest event. So the mega harvest event, instead of being only 1 time harvest points, now you get 2 times harvest points as well as 2 time plant growth speed during that event. So yeah, you're going to be getting a lot more harvest points while you're AFKing. And now I can probably expect to get around 10,000 harvest points every time I AFK. Once again, I'll be showing you guys how to do that in another video, because AFK in this harvest event is now going to be a lot more rewarding because it's so much easier to get points. From my 6,000 points, I got 6 summer coins. So yeah, it seems like you get 1 coin per every 1,000 harvest points. So if I'm AFKing, I get probably around 9 to 10,000 harvest points. I'll get around 9 to 10 of these summer coins every single hour, which is not incredibly bad. It still means that for some of these plants in the crafting machine, you'll probably have to spend about 2 or 3 hours doing the summer harvest event. And then I'm going to assume the hamster, the Oasis egg, and some of these rarer stuff are going to be probably 30 to 40 summer coins per egg and per hamster. So you will probably need to spend a few hours farming the summer harvest event to buy some of those. That's honestly not incredibly bad in my opinion, especially because this event is still pretty AFKable, and I'll definitely be showing you guys how to do that. All right, so let's go over all the pets inside this egg so we actually know what each one of these do, and I have 4 out of the 5. So first off, the fennec is the one I don't have, which is a 0.5%, but basically what it does is it goes to a random garden, copies a random mutation from that garden, and then puts it on a plant in your garden that doesn't have that mutation. So that's going to be pretty OP if you want to get some limited mutations on like a single big fruit or just on a few big plants. So that's going to be pretty cool to have. But then I went ahead and got my hands on all of the other 4 pets here, so let's go ahead and check out what they do. Okay, so the first pet we have here is going to be the 45%, and it is the Murkot. Now this one goes to a pet and basically advances its cooldown by 20 seconds and has a 15% chance to do it again. Obviously once you age it up, the percentages are going to go up, so that is pretty insane, not too bad. Next one we have is the Sand Snake, 34% chance. Now this one has a 1.49% chance to duplicate items when you buy them from the gear or seed shop. Now this is going to be really good, especially when Jandel's doing dev abuse and spawning in a bunch of really good seeds in the seed shop and really good gears in the gear shop. All you want to do is stack your farm with a ton of these and you'll have like a 10, maybe 20% chance in total of being able to duplicate the items you're buying, which is actually a really good percentage. Now we also have an axolotl, which gives you a 6% chance of summer type fruit staying after collecting. Now that's also a really good percentage, and if you stack up on these, that's going to be really good for AFKing the summer harvest. Honestly, I'm going to probably get my hands on a few axolotls myself just for when I'm AFKing the summer harvest, because that is kind of insane. And then the last one we have is this blue Macau, 5% chance. Let's go ahead and check out its stat. Mutate a nearby fruit, applying the cloud touched mutation. So that's pretty cool. We'll definitely have to check out that mutation in another video, but that does seem pretty cool, and that definitely is going to be a pretty good mutation. So all 5 of these pets do seem like they are pretty useful for this event especially, so that's not too bad. And honestly, I think this Macau does look pretty cool and pretty funny, so that's not too bad at all. With that being said, that basically covers everything in this update. Looks like AFKing this event is going to be the same thing almost as last week, just farming the seed shop, the gear shop for the new seed and new gear, as well as the pet eggs, obviously just for the pet eggs that show up in there, even automatically crafting some of the seeds. But then also we're going to be able to take advantage now of these summer coins as we're AFKing, and possibly even AFK buy stuff from the harvest shop, depending on how frequently this stuff restocks. And yeah, so I'm going to definitely find a really good way to AFK this event, especially probably taking advantage of the tomato glitch. If there is another glitch that shows up, I'll definitely be doing that instead. But basically that is everything they added in this update. However, that is not it for this video. We do have some really good leaks. So if you guys didn't already know, before updates, Jandel likes to do some admin abuse as well as talk to us by talking in game, and he actually gave us some really good leaks for next week's update, which he says is going to be a prehistoric update. Now that does seem like it's going to be pretty interesting. Not sure how he's going to actually be able to do that without changing the map and adding some other stuff in other than just seeds and cosmetics. Hopefully he actually makes it a little more interactive, but we now have a confirmation that we'll finally have a seed that will dethrone the candy blossom. After so long, we finally have a new better seed in the game. I think it's actually well overdue. The game's not going to progress if you can never get a better seed than one that is limited. I think every few weeks, maybe even every month, we should be getting at least a new top tier seed to strive for, because at this point, even the new seeds they add in the seed shop and the new event seeds just are not as good as the candy blossom, so it's a bit discouraging. But now we'll finally have a better one. Hopefully people don't get too mad about this. I think it's well overdue, but every time they do add a better seed, people get mad and then Jandel nerfs it. So hopefully this is not the case, and hopefully he actually decides to stick with his plan of dethroning the candy blossom with a new better seed during next week's update. But that's basically all the leaks we really have so far. Throughout the week we'll obviously get images of items and images of other stuff, but yeah, it's pretty interesting that we're getting a prehistoric update as well as a new seed that is better than the candy blossom. But with that all being said, if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget that once we reach 45,000 subscribers, we'll be hosting a massive 50+ rainbow huge pet giveaway on PetSim 99. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this video here, and I'm going to start preparing for the PetSim 99 update. So expect a video on that pretty soon as well. Hope you all have an amazing day and good luck gardening.